So today we are going to talk about the highly controversial, the GNCTD Amendment Bill, something which has completely changed the way Delhi will be governed. Okay, first up, some basics. Now, what exactly is this bill? Essentially, this bill takes away all the final powers that the Delhi government has and hands it over to the Lieutenant Governor. So the Delhi government continues to administer, they will have cabinet meetings, they will pass orders, but all executive orders will go to the Lieutenant Governor, and finally it is him who decides whether or not it will apply or not. So essentially, since Lieutenant Governor is somebody who's appointed by the central government is hand-holding everything. And the Delhi government is basically limited to only administration in the city. Now, this has become hugely controversial. Politicians are saying one thing, Delhiites are saying something else. But let's try and understand both sides of the story over here. Now, this was extremely controversial even in the parliament. The debate went on in Rajya Sabha till very late in the evening. Finally, because they have all the numbers, they managed to pull it through. But essentially, the government is saying this will streamline process a little. Also saying that, well, this has been discussed quite a bit in the past as well. But if you ask the other side, or the impacted party in this case, which is the Aam Aadmi Party, they are taking it extremely personally, and they haven't minced their words to say that this is happening because at the time when Modi wave was at its peak and Modi's popularity was at its peak, even then, Delhi was one place which voted Aam Aadmi Party in power, Arvind Kejriwal in power, with absolute majority this time around as well. So now questions and parallels are being drawn. Why has this been done? Because BJP does not have a face in Delhi, perhaps. They've been trying very hard to win back Delhi. It's not happening. Even the latest results that we have, which is of by-polls, there also the MCD by-polls, MCD which has been ruled by BJP for the longest time, even that they lost. So because Aam Aadmi Party's allegation is that because BJP is losing grip over Delhi, doesn't seem to be getting it back at all, they have taken another route to ensure that they finally rule over the capital. So that's one theory. Now, I spoke about it to people in BJP, to people in Aam Aadmi Party, also to some legal experts to understand how does it really impact Delhi. But, frankly, it doesn't matter what political party says. What matters is what you and I, the Delhi Walas, feel about this. Are they happy with the decision? And how exactly will this decision impact our lives? So today, for example, I have a street light which is not working in the national capital, or I have a sewage which is open, or some waste which is not getting collected, or some other issue. Whom do I go? I call up my MLA and say that please get it done. What are you doing? The MLA is accountable to me because next time if he comes and asks for my vote, I will not vote for him and I'll say that you didn't do my work. Now that accountability with an MLA, how does that stand if you have an LG? Imagine for all of Delhi, over 3 crore people, they have to then not go to their area representatives, but imagine them going directly to the LG and saying, please get this done. An LG who's not elected, who enjoys that position really because the central government chose him, what accountability does he have to do our job maybe? That's one. The second thing is also about what happens in the legal status of it all. So the Aam Aadmi Party is saying that there is a legal lacuna here. And obviously for this, they are going to go to the Supreme Court and ask them to repeal this law. They will fight it out on the streets. If I know Aam Aadmi Party at all, they will turn this into an issue as well. And Arvind Kejriwal, who always loves a good fight, who at the heart of it is still an Andolankari or a Krantikari, as they say, would love to use this issue and go on the streets and say, well, they've done it again. Now, technically, remember the last time there was this power tussle between the LG and Arvind Kejriwal, and they had gone to Supreme Court. The Supreme Court then had said that except police, except public order, and except land, all issues will be decided by the Delhi government. Now, the others also, all of them have now been taken away from the Delhi government, whoever it may be. It's Arvind Kejriwal and Aam Aadmi Party today. It could be somebody else tomorrow. And then there is this moral stand, perhaps, or the political stand also that the BJP had been taking. Do you know, it's so fascinating that the last 3 elections, at least, that I have covered in the national capital and I can remember, BJP asked for full statehood. 2015, 2008, 2003, it was in their manifesto. They batted for it. In fact, in 2003, Lal Krishna Advani had presented a bill in parliament for full statehood of Delhi. This is a massive U-turn from the position that BJP had taken then to what today Narendra Modi and Amit Shah's BJP has taken now. The Aam Aadmi Party is obviously aghast. The Congress, meanwhile, is saying, well, we fought for this entire matter of full statehood. In fact, there was one of the comments that came in that this tussle between LG and Aam Aadmi Party happens only because there are 2 different parties. That's not true. When the Congress government was in power in the center and also in the state, even then, between 2 Congress appointee, one Congress appointee and one Congress chief minister, there used to be constant tussles and constant, sort of fights happening on one approving, not approving some law or some sort of stand or the other. So this has been a constant thing. But like I said, let's return back to what exactly is it that the Delhi people want. Now, another example of this perhaps, or one parallel that you can draw here is that, well, India is a federal structure, right? And there should be federal powers, like smaller states, and states should decide their own thing, and then the center has its own role to play. This is how democracies work. But democracies across the world also have another sort of template that they operate upon. I did some research and found out that some of the biggest democracies in the world, what happens, how are their capital cities governed? If you look at Canada, if you look at Australia, if you look at Mexico, if you look at Brazil, even if you look at UK, Washington DC, for example, does not have a government of its own. It has one person who is sent into the House of Representatives, and that elected person also does not have a vote in the House. A lot of these other countries that are named, they also do not have an independent government when it comes to the capital cities. So frankly, the international standards are going in favor of what the BJP has done. But again, I have to look, as a Delhiite, I have to look at Delhi as a place where I live and things that I need to get done. And the problem also here is, or perhaps why this might not be an example that might work, is because Delhi is 3 times, 4 times, even 5 times the population of all these capitals and the cities that I just named. Delhi has over 3 crore people. How is it possible to have one person actually look into the problems of so many people? So, well, at the end of it, I think the arguments on both these points are very good. Ultimately, it's about striking a balance. But is there a better template? Is there more confidence that as a Delhiite today, I feel I have in the LG versus my elected government? Well, that's a question I will leave you with. Be sure, if you have a comment on this, you have a suggestion, be sure to leave it in the comments below and we'll look into it and let's see where this debate goes. Bye for now.